Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched Survivor Season 39, Episode 7. I was born at night, but not last night. Spoilers ahoy, if you haven't seen this episode yet and don't want to find out what happens, then don't listen to this episode. Yep. So, man, a lot of stuff going on in this one. uh, I'm realizing it now. Going back to the beginning of the episode, we had all of the fallout from Jason getting voted off from the one tribe. I forget which tribe that happened on. Was it the same tribe that went to anyway? I don't have my big chart with the tribe names. I don't even remember what the tribe names are. So whatever. Anyway, towards the beginning of the episode, Jack tries to help Kelly out with Jamal being a punk and not letting her try starting the fire after it's like raining a whole ton. And Jack is like, yeah, Kelly should do it because she's really good at it. And so it's interesting how things played out throughout this episode. Nora was really wanted to get Jamal out of there. Jamal is really confident in himself throughout the episode. Didn't think he was a target at all whatsoever. And yeah, Jack was being like a really nice guy, and Kelly. I mean, she's great. So yeah, it was interesting how things played out, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Nora, she wants to take Jamal out, but Janet says, we should wait till the merge to do that. Janet goes to Island of the Idols. Her lesson there is in calculated risk. She has a challenge presented to her. She could win a safety from Tribal, that she would leave Tribal Council before the vote, be safe from it, and then the rest of her tribe joins her when they get back there. And then if she failed the challenge, she would lose her vote for the next tribal council that she goes to. She thinks about it, she talks through it, and she says, no, I don't want to do it because it'll put a big target on my back for doing that, for having won that advantage, and I would probably just get voted off the next tribal council if that happened. So they were really impressed. Rob and Sandra, she learned from the lesson we taught of thinking through your moves, thinking how that affects what you're doing down the line. So that was pretty cool, and she preserves the secret. She makes up her own version, a variation on what Kelly had already established as a lie, and that worked out pretty well so far. It's still a secret what's actually happening over on Island of the Idols. I should add to the chart, like highlight each person who has actually been over there, and at some point it's going to be everybody. But there are people who have been voted off who hadn't gotten to go there yet. So I think only 6 people have actually gone there so far, and one person, was it Vincent? I think he got voted off the same episode. So I think there's only 5 people in the game still that have been there. We've got Elaine, Elizabeth, Kelly, Janet, and somebody else has gone there. I think, but yeah, I love this aspect of this season. So anyway, back at camp, Tommy and Lauren, they've started Operation Get Dan Out, but Missy sees right through it, and she has started Operation Get Tommy Out so that Lauren doesn't have her sidekick safety blanket. But neither of those plans get taken into action because the immunity challenge, which involved throwing coconuts into a basket and then solving a gigantic puzzle with huge they're square pieces, so the puzzle, like the puzzle aspect of the puzzle wasn't difficult, but it was physically difficult to move those pieces around. Vokai wins while Jamal struggles to get the last the last piece. They just had one more piece to get into place, and is just struggling to get it to fit in there. For I don't know what was going on with that. And yeah, so Lyro, is that the name of their tribe? They go to tribal council. Jamal seems way too confident about everything. Pretty much, she thinks he's safe. But Kelly, as she's talking to the camera, she's inspired. She has a plan. She wants to help Dean and then target either Jack or Jamal. So during tribal council, she talks through the plan with Dean. Dean is all about it because he doesn't want to go home anyway. So of course he'd be all about it. And as long as he trusted Kelly, what was going on. And so she gives him the idol so that he can use it. And then during tribal council, there's Jamal brings up that there's the fear of a girls' alliance, that they could team up and get rid of them because they outnumber them 4-3 and all that kind of thing. And there's a whole talk about it, how and I agree with this, that just the mere, it's always brought up, like there's always like the fear of a girls' alliance happening, like it's just automatically a threat that it's going to happen, when it's much more likely for a guys' alliance to happen, because that happens pretty much every season. Every season there's at least a group of guys on one of the tribes that band together. And yeah, so it is. If it's a given that there's going to be a girls' alliance, it's much more given that there's going to be a guys' alliance, and and there's a whole lot more to it than that. But that's my personal opinion on it. Is that it's no. Yeah, nobody does talk about the guys when it is almost guaranteed to happen when an actual girls' alliance of all of the girls banding together. That has maybe happened like twice in the entire series. It's probably maybe more than that, but yeah. And one of those instances is a case where the tribes started off that way. So it wasn't really even about that. It seemed like it was more about their original tribe sticking together, and they just happened to be a tribe of just women. I'm thinking about One World kind of, but I don't remember the specifics of that. But it is. I think that is the only time that it's been all women at the end to be voted for, I think. And but it's been all men so many times in the final 2 or the final 3. So yeah, that is a really good point as well. That yeah, it is not a. The conception about it is like completely just warped, because the actual statistics of what has actually happened over 38 other seasons is not support that those assumptions about women's alliances and all that kind of thing. So anyway, that was an interesting aspect of the tribal council. So Dean plays the idol after everybody's voted, and then Jamal pulls out his idol that he found on the island. He hasn't been to Island of the Idols. It was just a hidden immunity idol, and he plays it for Nora. Why would he do that? I don't understand why he would do that. They're like mortal enemies. I don't understand why he would do that. I don't understand why he would do that. Why did he do that? And it was super stupid to do it. She didn't get any votes. how did he think that she would be getting any votes? That's how. Oh, I don't know. So Dean got 5 votes, all negated because he played the idol that he got from Kelly, and then the other 2 votes went to Jack, and Jack got voted off. And Nora says she was all touched and everything that he played it for her. And she's like, I'm so sorry that you wasted on me. As it turns out, she is one of those 2 votes for Jack. Kelly didn't vote for Jack to get out. Her entire plan was for Jack to get voted out, either Jack or Jamal. She didn't really, it didn't seem like she cared either way. She voted for Dean. This was brilliant. Like, Kelly is I think she might be my favorite player of this season because that was extremely well played. There's so much other drama that happened out of her making this happen that there is, and then her reaction, everything. She played it off extremely well. That she, like, as though she didn't know what was going on. She was as surprised as anybody else. And her voting for Dean, that adds another level of obfuscation of her involvement in making it happen. Brilliant. I can watch the next episode right now because I fell really far behind. 2 weeks behind, but the next episode is 2 hours. So I'm going to jump right into that as soon as I'm done recording this. But man, I really, really appreciate her move there. That was awesome. And yeah, there is so much attention drawn onto other people through the entire tribal council, through the voting, through the playing of idols, and then through the reading of the votes. All of it. It was like just bravo. Round of applause for Kelly. That was beautifully done. So I'm looking forward to see what happens next. From what I understand, some controversial stuff happens. All kinds. I don't know if it's all kinds of stuff, but there's some controversial stuff. So I guess I'm like looking forward to that, or I'm interested to see what actually is going on. Whenever I see like partial headlines of it, I was like, no, I don't want to know because I don't want to spoil the episode, any of that. So I'll be talking about it in the next episode, of course, because then I'll have actually seen it. So, yeah, that's it. It's merge time. Jack is the first member of the jury, so that's interesting. There's some people that he has never lived on a beach with. He's never maybe even met, that he could be deciding that they're gonna win $1 million. And that's kind of an interesting thing for somebody to join the jury before they've been merged. That's only happened a couple of times before. So we'll see how that works out as well. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this episode. I really like this episode. Let me know what you thought about it by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. Stay safe out there in all of the infinite multiverses. So I can see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.